What's up, meta nerds? This video is all about the Braha'tok-class Gunship, also known as the Dornean Gunship. It was manufactured by the obscure company Dornean Braha'tok Fleet Works Conglomerate for use in their independent planetary defense navy of Doran, a planet which resisted inclusion in the Empire, but weren't a part of the galaxy that was too remote for Palpatine to really care about. The cost is unknown, but at a length of 90 meters, or 295 feet, it was about 3.5 U-wings long, while at a height of 19 meters, or 62 feet, it was nearly as tall as 3 LAATs. And at a width of 37 meters, or 121 feet, it was nearly a sandcrawler across. This ship was equipped with a Class 1 hyperdrive, the same speed found in the Venator-class Star Destroyer, and it was protected with shielding. Its armament included 8 double turbolaser cannons, with 8 concussion missile launchers, making it very deadly in its anti-starfighter role. What also happened to make this a great gunship was the fact that it could carry 2 starfighters, attached to the underside via a pair of clamps, and during the time of the Galactic Civil War, these were usually T-65B X-Wings. The ship required a crew of 75, and a really interesting feature of the Braha'tok is that the hull is coated in silver in order to reduce the effects of solar radiation. As for its history, after the Dorans decided to resist the Empire, they began building up a navy, helping them secure their independence up through the Battle of Yavin. Their alliance with the rebels led to the donation of 3 of these gunships to General Jan Dodana's Masasi group, which was located on Yavin. The first time they were used to aid the rebels was during the Battle of Atollon in 2BBY, where the Phoenix Cells base was ambushed by Grand Admiral Thrawn. The Orion was the ship destroyed by TIE fighters, while the other 2 survived the retreating forces that returned to the base, but as Thrawn's ground forces closed in, the 2 gunships tried escaping with the Ghost, but were destroyed before leaving atmosphere. 2 years later, in 0BBY, 3 Dornean gunships were present during the Battle of Scariff, where they were mainly used to take out enemy TIE fighters. Once the Devastator arrived and cut off their retreat, one of the gunships was able to avoid colliding with the Star Destroyer, and able to escape to safety. One of these Dornean gunships was named the Apollina's Promise, and was used to defend the CR-90 corvette used by Twilight Company. By the year 4 ABY, 4 of these ships rendezvoused with the Alliance fleet near Sullust before launching an attack on the second Death Star. Carrying out their role of starfighter defense, they cleared out many TIEs as the Millennium Falcon made its way into the superweapon. And years later, in 34 ABY, Akbar states that the Dornians are still using this gunship. So that's it for its history, but you definitely want to hear these cool facts and behind the scenes stuff. This ship was first introduced in Return of the Jedi, where the only name for it was just ROTJ ship, which stood for the title of the movie, and its creator Bill George, but the reason why we don't see it shown prominently on screen is because the art director Joe Johnston didn't think it looked good enough. It didn't get its name Dornean until a member of StarWars.com named Elo137 entered into a lore-making competition where you had to link background objects in the movies to obscure references in the EU. Being accepted, this name was first introduced in the canon with the Lost Stars book in 2015, and then in 2017, it got the designation Braha'tok-class Gunship via the book Star Wars Rebel Files. So that's it for the Dornean Gunship, but most important of all, remember, there's always a chance that you can name something in the Star Wars universe, and the Force will be with you. Always.